if you really want to know, this one has my uniform number that I wear.
No one ever knew. I never knew that.
Yeah, so like all throughout high school, like I wore 22, and then couldn't get it in college at any point. And so when I got drafted here, obviously, I wasn't even gonna be like, Sloot, let me get that. Like I wasn't even gonna ask.
We're moving on.
Moving on rapidly.
How was the experience in Bradenton?
You did put on.
Steph, how did it compare to the Olympics? So I guess maybe.
Are we saying that
You
first?
should start. Yeah,
I'll start.
How it's
compared.
Yeah.
I mean, there really was no comparison. The Olympics were complete opposite. Like the bubble was a bubble, and although they were like kind of strict in Tokyo, it was like there wasn't like rules. Like it was just kind of like known, like I'm not gonna leave the hotel because I can't go anywhere anyway. Like there's nothing around it.
Did you get tested every day?
Did we get tested every day? Yes, I think, but it was our own. Like you just take your own and then you hand it to them. But I mean, I don't know. It didn't feel the same, and because it was the Olympics, so like it didn't
And also,
feel
how long were you there?
Yeah.
only 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 6
That's a
days.
huge-
I always think
Yeah.
you were there for weeks.
No, soccer team. They were there for 4 or 5 weeks, I think,
That's insane.
because they were there early compared to like us. Yeah, we were literally there for 6 or 7 days.
Well, I mean, that makes a big difference.
That is, a huge difference. But I mean, the overall experience was really non-comparable, to be honest.
And that was so early on, like the Bradenton bubble. It was so new for us to be like in a bubble, so I think everyone was kind of freaking out. Whereas like a year
Yeah.
later in a bubble, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of
it's
their
used
lifestyle.
to the
bubble.
bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
How was the bubble?
that's the bubble. You want to start, Diamond? No? Allie?
It was kind of, I think we were all a little nervous about what it was going to be like. It was kind of like exciting and new in the beginning, like, oh my god, like everything you did was like the first time riding your bike there, going to get the lunch, or just like seeing the gym and all of that. But then probably within 3-4 weeks of doing like the same thing over and over again, it was, I don't know, you felt like claustrophobic and just trapped. Like you couldn't get out or escape from anything.
Yeah.
Really. It was like, I remember one time I was in the elevator and like it opens and then like Bill gets on the elevator and I don't have a relationship with this man at all. Like, so we're just on the elevator and I'm just like looking at him and he's just standing there minding his business, but I still feel kind of uncomfortable because it's just like,
Did you say hi?
no.
Oh.
And then like he got off the elevator and he was just like, have a good day. And I was just, thanks. And I don't know, it's just like, it was just weird because it's like we all know each other in the league, like all the players like of each other, and like, but then it's like you start finding yourself in the bubble having like just more interactions with people that you just wouldn't have any type of interaction with, like, and so I don't know. It's like normally like basketball is like an escape. I know for me and probably a lot of other players, but like it's like there was no escape. You were just kind of in it. So.
That's true.
After a few weeks, for sure, it was like very taxing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like it almost felt like across the board, everyone felt the same, whether they were winning or losing. Like the more people I've talked to about the bubble, like outside of our team, because I was there, I knew how it was for every person on our team, but you don't really get to hear it from, or see it at least from other teams. But when I play overseas with players or whatever, it was like, I think we all agreed how, difficult that really was. And how people, I just don't think they understand. I mean, when you think there was good parts to it, like Allie and I talked sometime, like we went fishing a lot, like I went golfing a lot, like there was things.
We played euchre.
We played euchre. We got to like live with our teammates.
Yeah.
Like there was things about it, but like overall, how just like, just taxing, I think is the best description of how hard it was. Yeah, I was definitely very happy that we were having a non-bubble season this year.
I
Yeah.
would not go back.
Yeah, I think it would have been hard for people. A lot of people.
Yeah.
What is a piece of advice that a coach gave that always stuck with you?
Oh, actually, I have a good one.
Good.
Gino, because I'll never forget it. He told me, because again, I'm very pleasant.
Did he tell you that?
No, I just did it myself. Like, I'm very nice, right? Sweet, normally. And so he told me one day, he said, Steph, when you change your clothes, you change your attitude. So we meant, like, when I put my jersey on, I gotta be mean. Because as a freshman, I was too nice.
You're still nice though.
So did you ever do that?
I know.
You still like foul people.
I mean,
I'm
it's
sorry.
like you remember.
She said the screen on Kia there. She's like,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I almost killed her. She could have been like paralyzed. Who knows? Of course, I'm gonna say sorry to that. But I mean, I remembered it. I just said stuck with you.
Yeah.
So it stuck with me. Don't do it. But in college, I did.
Do it.
I'm meaner now, but I don't know. I thought it was good advice.
It is.
I think, yeah, that's very good advice. I think, like, Dean Lockwood was one of our assistants at Tennessee, and he was, like, amazing, like, one of my favorite coaches ever. And he, like, read so many books, like, autobiographies, like, loved, like, the military and just, like, leadership stuff. Like, he just was, like, all into that. So he used to give us a quote of the day every day before practice started. And I don't know why, like, this one always stuck with me. He said, first we make our habits, then our habits make us. And I think it's just, you know, to me, it's just all about just, like, putting in the work every day, you know, and, like, in all aspects of your life, you know, being consistent with, like, the way you move and the way you approach each thing. And then ultimately those things kind of create the life that you end up living. So.
That was good. Oh, that was really good.
That's fine. I wasn't going for the deep.
That's good. Man, I just don't, like, I don't know.
I'm stumped. I would say my stepdad, because I always remember this. Like, we were in the kitchen, and I played, like, softball, volleyball, basketball in high school. And I was, like, serious about them all, but, like, you know, it's just, like, you're having fun, you know? I was never... I knew, like, I could be in the WNBA or wanted to, but it wasn't something I was, like, so serious. I want to be in the WNBA, like, working, like, crazy extra. But he was like, do you want to play after college? And it was, like, the first time, like, I really thought about it that someone asked me, like, do you want to play in the WNBA? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, okay, you have to change your life then, you know? You have to work extra, you have to dribble, you have to, like, do ball handling, all your weaknesses, you know? So I think when he asked me that, I was, like, just, like, a light bulb turned on, and I, like, didn't party as much, I remember, my junior, senior year, and just, like, was just a little more focused. So, yeah.
That's good. Now look at you.
Right.
All right.
That's good advice.
Why did you pick the jersey number you wear?
I'm not going to answer this one because I have no. Mine was just random.
Yeah, I don't really have a good answer either.
Yeah.
Well, if you really want to know,
Definitely.
this one has my uniform number that I wear.
No one ever. I never
So-
knew that.
Yeah, so like all throughout high
She
school,
doesn't
like
care
I
about
wore
that number.
22, and then couldn't get it in college at any point. And so when I got drafted here, obviously, I wasn't even gonna be like, Sloot, let me get that. Like I wasn't even gonna ask. So I was like thinking, like, okay, like, what number do I want to wear? And the very first basketball number I ever had was number 1, and this was probably when I was like 3rd or 4th grade. And I literally picked that number because I just felt like I was the number 1 girl in the world. Just like, yeah, at the time, just like period. I was like, I'm number 1, like the most amazing. There's nobody like me. And so I kind of just wanted to like, you know, like reconnect with that feeling a little bit and just like, I don't know, satisfy the little girl in me that like wanted to play in the WNBA. So
That's cute.
yeah.
It's a good reminder.
Number 1.
Play for that little girl.
Yeah.
It was just my parents' numbers. 14, actually 22 also. So whenever I couldn't get
number.
14,
Weird.
I always got 22 overseas. So that's all.